Hello, Insomniacs. It is your ghoulish hosts, Kurious Cyclopes.
And Steve.
And today we're going to do a little bit of hating, bashing, and some other very offensive things. Steve, what are we here to discuss?
I would just like to start by saying this is purely opinion.
Opinionated.
Not everyone has to agree.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with us. It just means you're wrong.
But today we're going to talk about the rise and fall of Peter Jackson.
Yep, Peter fucking Jackson. First, should I get this out of the way yet?
Go for it.
Fuck you, Peter Jackson. I don't know if we're going to end on that.
I thought it was
fuck
coming
you.
later.
All right, well, we could do it again later at the end. That's how we'll close. We'll be like, fuck you, Peter Jackson. Thank you for watching there, Steve. All right, so people are probably wondering, what made them go out of their way to make a video just to discuss Peter Jackson?
This has come up a couple of times in our videos now.
Yeah.
Any time that Peter Jackson's name seems to be mentioned, there's always a fuck you close behind.
Yeah. Definitely from us. We even had conversations about this before we even started the show.
Right.
So, all right. There's this whole thing in the horror community that everyone agrees his first three films, they're masterpieces. And I will even vouch for that. So what were his first three films?
So he started with Bad Taste in 87. Then came out with Meet the Feebles in 89. And then 92 was Dead Alive.
The horror masterpiece. His, what did I call that? That when something's your ultimate masterpiece?
Oh, God.
I don't know. They said that about Stephen King recently with Dark Tower. It's his magnum
opus, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the right definition, but I would say Dead Alive is his magnum opus. It's like his most visionary.
I would have to agree.
At least because we're horror fans here talking. But I didn't really see Bad Taste, so I can't say too much about that. I've seen like clips. Have you seen Bad Taste?
It's very independent. Like, you could tell, like, it's very, like, frantically shot, people playing multiple characters, like the effects and stuff. Somehow, like, this guy, I don't know how he did it, but back when he was making these movies, he had some pretty cool, like, practical effects and stuff for an indie filmmaker. So, like, that was cool, but essentially it's kind of a dumb movie. Like, it's aliens coming to Earth killing people for their fast food restaurant or whatever.
Oh, so that's why it's called Bad Taste.
Yeah.
Well, and then a few years ago, for the first time, and I cannot believe I waited so long, I saw Meet the Feebles, and guys, it sucked me in so bad. For the happy parts, I was happy. For the sad parts, I almost fucking cried. I'm not even kidding.
Right.
It's Meet the Feebles, like this demented, like, it's like a demented movie where there's puppets and there's people in like animal suits, almost like furries. Like,
Right.
It's a fucked up, demented movie, but it just struck a chord with me in my brain that it's now one of my favorite movies ever.
And see, I've never seen Meet the Feebles.
You would fucking love it, dude. Especially because I know you like Avenue Q.
It's actually a large part of, like, well, not a large part, but it's certainly a part of, like, where my fuck you comes to Peter Jackson. Because now that all his shit's going, like, out of print, not being released, it's hard to find. Like, all I hear is that it's a great movie, but where the fuck am I going to watch it? Like,
I know. I don't even want to talk about the whole Blu-ray issues with Dead Alive. And
let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it. I mean, hey, this is the
it.
video to talk about it. It just sucks.
It literally destroys me, dude, because I think of the days, like, a couple of years ago where I would cruise, like, horror Blu-rays on Amazon.com, and I'd come across Dead Alive, and I'd be like, oh, sweet, it's only, like, $12, $15, whatever it was. I'm like, I'll get it eventually. Now, their eventually's gone. If I want that movie, I'm paying $85 to $100 for it.
And I'm with him on this because, dude, Dead Alive, one of the most important horror films ever made.
Oh, yeah.
Me and him love it, and how are we going to get it?
Right.
I mean, do you even know what the... So you said it's like 85 to 100?
It's around that range, yeah.
Dude, I could have sworn the DVD's even very expensive.
Yeah, even the DVD's like $40.
Because even before the Blu-ray issue came around, I remember ages ago, I did see Dead Alive. I think it was like used at FYE or something like that.
Right.
And I thought like, oh, Dead Alive's like a really well known movie. I can get it whenever. Everyone knows it, so there'll always be copies ready.
Right.
Uh, I really am fucking kicking myself in the fucking ass right now
Yep.
because even sometimes when my friends are like, oh man, I wish we could watch Dead Alive, I'm like, thanks. That's out of my 350 horror films. That's the one I don't have. Like,
And it's even more of a fuck you now because like then a couple of years ago, I think it was like 2013 or something, that he announced that his production company, I think it's called like Wingnut Productions or
okay,
something,
mm-hmm.
was going to be doing their own like 4K restores of all three of the
Are you
originals or whatever.
serious?
That came out a couple of years ago.
Do you think they were gonna do a set, perhaps?
I don't know. There
Either
was
way, that would
literally
have been
no
incredible.
information with it. The problem is, it's now 2017, like 4 years later. We've heard nothing else. No, like, yeah, it's being worked on, or oh, this is how far we've got. So, like, was it ever even real? Are we ever gonna get these movies back? Like,
And there's been so many forums I've been in, regarding Peter Jackson. In horror forums, there seems to be a general consensus that Peter Jackson really does not give a fuck about his loyal fans from his first three movies. In
right?
fact, it seems like he's one of those typical celebrities that once he gets big and famous, he wants to wash his hands of all the other old stuff that he thinks like, oh, it's not classy enough for me anymore. And it seems like he really does not give a shit about horror fans.
Yep.
If anything, from what I heard, it's kind of a turnoff for him.
And that's
He doesn't like the fact that he has a horror fan base.
right.
I hate him.
He
but
probably considers the trajectory of his career straight just rise because he went from making like little independent horror
what
movies.
was his first breakthrough for him
Um,
financially?
I don't know financially
Yeah.
it did all that well, but I know he did The Frighteners in '96
Okay,
with Michael
yeah.
J. Fox. But then after that was when he started the Lord of the Rings movies.
All right, so that's when he really got huge,
Right.
like big-headed, like.
So you go Lord of the Rings, all three of those. You got all three of the Hobbits. You have the King Kong movie. Like,
Which I did not like.
yeah.
Well,
But so he probably feels like he was on like a meteoric rise to stardom. Where
I mean,
personally,
dude, remaking King Kong alone, that's a feat that not anyone else can do. So he must think he's like God of Hollywood or something. But
I feel like he went Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, Dead Alive.
Dead Alive, way up here.
Then he kind of stayed. He stayed for like another movie, I forget what it's called. Did The Frighteners, and then Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, King Kong. Like that's all the fall, man. And that's not even because they were bad movies. It was just like you said, like there's just no respect. He's one of those people who wants to like ignore the fact that his past exists. It seems like oh, forget those movies that people fucking love. Like I'm better than that now. Like
And obviously, you would never ever see him be like, "Yeah, maybe I'll go to Monster Mania this year to do a signing for my old school fans."
right.
Like, apparently, he wants nothing to do with them. And obviously, like anyone, we think that's fucking shitty to do that. Like, you get too good for your fans. Like when he made those three films, he made that for a specific audience, and guess what? That specific audience liked it. So now that he's famous, I guess it's just fuck you to all of them, right?
Yep.
But so he's trying to keep people from releasing those movies. He wants to act like they never existed. Now here's where it gets fucking personal, very very personal. I was so fucking excited. I think it was about what was it last summer?
Yeah.
Emmaus Theater announced that they were doing Dead Alive, and we never seen that on a theatrical screen. I can't even imagine what it's like seeing that on the big screen. So goddamn well we were going to that. Well, I think it was not even a week after this got announced. They got a cease and desist letter from Peter Jackson's company or whatever saying that we are not allowing you to show this film. First of all, I don't know the workings of theaters and how they even show movies.
Right.
But oh my god, Emmaus Theater was so upset and hurt that they literally said so sorry to everyone that was coming. They don't, for whatever reason, they don't want us to show the movie, so we can't show the movie. But if you come up to the ticket booth and say fuck Peter Jackson, we'll give you a free ticket to any of our upcoming shows to make up for the disappointment. Because obviously a lot of their fans were disappointed.
Oh yeah.
because that would have been one of the best horror films that they had. So I fucking got so. I already didn't like Peter Jackson because of how he's handling his first movies, but the fact that he went out of his way to block this little tiny insignificant independent theater in like Emmaus, PA, that unless you live there, no one is like, oh, Emmaus Theater, let's travel across the country to go there. Why are you fucking with them like that? It's
Right.
not. It's not the Alamo Drafthouse in New York where it's a really famous theater that people travel all over to go to. It's our own local theater for our local fans because we have a lot of horror fans around here. And the fact that you did that to the little guy, like, come on, dude, that's fucked up. Tell me, would it have harmed the sales of his upcoming movies if people went to go see Dead Alive? What reason could they have to not want us to see it in a theater? Can you think of a good reason?
The only reason I can think of is because they just want to push them as far out of existence as they possibly
want to act like
can.
it never happened, and it's ridiculous. But because of that, I can't have much respect for Peter Jackson.
Yep.
And the thing that makes it even worse is the rabbit hole goes deeper. I suspected that one of Emmaus Theater's competitors tipped off Peter Jackson and brought it to their attention because this one guy I'm not a fan of, a day after Emmaus Theater announced that they got a cease and desist, their competitor on Facebook goes, "Oh man, do I love Peter Jackson? He's my favorite director of all time." And
Did that really happen?
Yeah, it did. And I was
Wow.
like, "Gee, I wonder who the fuck tipped them off about Emmaus Theater?" Because obviously, Peter Jackson's company. It's not like they're scanning the internet and they found Emmaus Theater. Someone tipped them off. And not only did he say Peter Jackson is my favorite director on set, he said Dead Alive is my favorite movie of all time. And this guy was pissed that he wasn't showing it at his theater, so I'm pretty sure he fucked over Emmaus Theater. I'm sorry. And guys, I'm not saying this is fact, but this is my speculation from what I've seen.
This is the opinion episode, man.
This is opinion, so I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but this is what I'm experiencing. This is what I saw. And it's just so disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Like that shit.
I mean, we don't know that to be fact, but if that in fact happened, that's fucking
come on,
gross,
dude.
dude.
How much of a coincidence is it that a day after Emmaus Theater got a cease and desist, this guy's bragging about, oh, he's my favorite, blah blah blah. And also I'm gonna add on, it's more that theater is more of like a corporate setting. It's not like an independent theater. So
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was some competition going on there, and he got mad that his favorite movie was being shown at another theater. So, but then that's just the speculation part. The fact is, Peter Jackson, he's just a dick.
Yep. And that's, like we've said a couple of times, this is strictly opinion.
Yeah.
This is how we feel, and it has nothing to do with the three movies. We love the movies.
Yeah.
We love the
Obviously,
fact that he made them.
We hate him because we love the first couple of movies.
Right. This is just our opinion about Peter Jackson. You don't have to agree, but when it comes down to it, I think our opinion's the same.
A lot of horror fans agree with us.
Yeah.
So maybe if you were a fan of King Kong that came out a couple years ago, maybe you have more passion for him. But if you're a horror fan, chances are you hate the motherfucker. If Peter Jackson next year said, "Hey, I'm gonna allow these movies to be released. Hey, I'll even go to a horror convention." Am I gonna keep hating him? No.
Right?
I'm gonna think he's humble again.
I will
Humble
say,
himself,
I'll say right
you know.
now, people of YouTube, in front of all of you, if Peter Jackson comes out and says that he's going to release these three movies, this video no longer exists.
Yep.
We'll take it down.
Privatized, baby. Yeah. But I guess this kind of shit happens.
It
with
does.
Hollywood. I mean, but the thing that sucks is when it gets in your way of trying to get, because we collect.
Right.
We can't collect these movies unless we fucking sell a left nut or a lot of blood plasma.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think they're ever gonna get released? Doesn't seem like it.
God, I hope so, man, but
And
I'm not holding my breath.
I really hate to say this because I don't like to be too edgy, but do you think there's a better chance when he passes away, maybe, that someone will get the rights and be like, oh, let's release it? Or do you think it's in his will? In his will, he wrote, but under no circumstances will you ever release these movies after death. In fact, I want the secret police to go around and round up all the copies.
Right. I mean, that sounds more likely.
Yeah, that far-fetched thing is more likely than him releasing it on Blu-ray. Boy.
Oh, how fucking sad.
Yeah. So, I guess if I feel like watching those movies, I'm going to have to pirate it. You're kind of forcing me to be a criminal.
Forcing our hand.
Forcing us to go on that pirate bay. Arr! Well, want to end it on that special note?
Might as well.
1, 2, 3. Peter Jackson,
Fuck
fuck you. All right, thanks for watching, Insomniacs. Go on Twitter and tell Peter Jackson he's a fucking asshole. Ask him to release his 3 movies. Hey, go on change.org, make a petition. I'm sure there's been many that were thrown in the trash, but hey, keep spamming him, troll the shit out of him until we get these movies.
Tag him in this video.
Tag
Link
him.
it to him. Do whatever you can.
We need a Blu-ray box set of those 3 movies. Come on.
It doesn't even have to be reasonably priced.
Well, yeah.
I would pay so much money just to have those movies.
What would you pay retail just for Dead Alive on Blu-ray? Just retail.
I wouldn't pay more than 40.
Yeah, because that seems to be the standard.
I would say.
But I would pay the full 40.
Give me a little bit of extras and stuff. I'd pay 40 for it.
Special edition, I'll pay 50.
Sure.
Like extra goodies. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Obviously, it doesn't look bright.
No.
We just needed to get that off our chests. All right, well, that'll be it. Thank you for watching. Kurious Cyclopes.
It's Steve.
All right. See ya, Peter Jackson, you fucking asshole. See ya. Bye-bye.